Okay. Waiting. Hi, Shelby. Welcome back. Yes. Let's get Eve back in.
I'm
Hiya.
back.
So,
Post.
obviously we ran out of time because neither of us have done this before, and who knew we could chat this for this long? Like it's so easy to talk to each other, isn't it? It's crazy. So
Yeah, definitely.
we
Right
just had
away.
a very quick phone call to check that Eve was okay, and to see what we should do. And we decided, well, actually, Bobby decided. Thanks, Bobby. That we should just continue with this because it was a bit of a strange place to finish the conversation.
Yeah.
And again, like this could be really important for lots and lots of young children that we're coaching. Yeah, we're coaches now. We don't play anymore really, and we're coaching, you know, the future of tomorrow, and they're all going to have these issues that we've had, and it's really important that they know that it's okay and
Yeah.
it's so normal.
Mm.
What's really
Yeah.
important to note with grief though is that every single person is different.
Yeah. Obviously, people always just say it takes time, it takes time. I'm still waiting for that time to
Yeah,
help, as you can all tell. Yeah.
it's
It's
only
like it
then
helps, it doesn't. So,
you so when I joined WIC, if I just talk about your dad quickly, okay, seeing as we're doing this
yep.
live now, right? So
Yep.
when we were both playing at WIC, you know, your dad was there with the camera, taking photos, and you know, he was so proud of you. It was amazing, and that's when I started
Yeah.
talking to your dad, and then we both went to Firebrands, and then I started talking to your dad more, and obviously I ended up driving you everywhere because you were too young to
Yep.
drive at the time, thank God.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember being in your car going down the hill that used to be by my house, and I'd be like, "Mate, I can run faster than this."
Well, you can blame Dad for that because he wanted me to get that car.
And a little black box in it as well.
Yes, because you
Which,
can't go very fast in. Hey, it made my insurance cheaper though, so
yeah.
win-win.
So
Win lose, lose lose win.
your dad was really proud of you, and it
Yeah.
was, you know, very different to me and my dad, obviously, because I lived with my dad. You didn't live with your dad. Your dad lived somewhere completely different, and you know, you would see him every now and then. But when he
Yeah,
turned up
especially
to
when I
your,
get older, I see him less and less.
yeah, but when he turned up
Yeah.
to some of your matches, you were like, "Yay, my dad's here!"
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody always knew that Dad was coming or Dad would be here, and then
Yeah,
if he wasn't like there on time, I'd be like, oh well, Dad's meant to be here. Like, why isn't he here yet?
yeah,
And then he'd turn up, like, oh, Dad's here.
yeah. And when he, you know what, when he didn't turn up, oh, the rage in you, my God. The rage in you, it was awful. I'd be like, "It's fine." You're like, "Bleh, bleh, bleh."
Well, at least you know I haven't changed. So the rage and the tension is still there if I don't get what I want.
Well, you know, but you were a
That's literally me.
teenager. You were a teenager.
Yeah, oh, it hasn't gone, rage. It hasn't gone.
I don't
Still
think it
there.
goes for it. You got that for at least another 10 years, and then you'll be fine.
Oh, goodness.
So
Goodness.
you were close to him. You loved him a lot. Obviously, everyone loved
Yep.
him, but you were still, and you were robbed of later life with him.
Mm. Yep.
So
Yeah, well, like going back to mental health,
yeah,
Dad was probably like my biggest support with hockey. So I went through. I was playing for WIC. Like as soon as I came home, I went straight back to WIC because
I
you know.
know. I was mortified.
true family. And they just wanted me back. They, you know, they all hugged me like, yep, come play, like, doesn't matter, you can just come jump in, like, great, you know, and we'll talk about it if you want, and we won't talk about it if you want, and whatever. And like, that was great, but then I started to just not want to play. Like, and obviously for me and everybody who knows me, that's like, that's weird, because she's obsessed.
It was like, I knew what I kind of knew what you were going through. I'd lost my gran like a few years before that, and that was the first time I'd experienced real loss. So I kind of understood that. I understood what you were going through, and I was always like making sure you were okay and stuff. And I knew that you just needed to be you. Like, I think when you know, like, you could have come and done all the like mini coaching with me, the primary school stuff, and like when you like, no, I need to just go and be with the horses. That's when I knew that this was really not good. This was
because I just didn't really want to do what I wanted to do. Even with the horses, I didn't want to go. And then my boss was just like, I remember one day going to work and just like crying and not being okay. And my boss's daughter just went, right, come on, go jump on Daniel and let's go. Like, come on, I don't care. We're just going to go riding because you enjoy riding. We're just going to go do it. And like that very second is kind of all like I needed that at that very moment, because I do, you know, I love horses. I love riding. Daniel was my favorite horse. Like, I had to just go and do it. And I was on him and like had all these things going on in my head, but I was having fun. And the same with you. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure at some points you would have said to me like, hey, like, you need to come, like, or can you come? And I'd be like, oh, you're asking, can I? Like, yes, I can come. Instead of being like, do you want to come? No. Can you come? Oh, yeah, I can come. And then I think after losing it for so long, I don't know, just playing with Wick, just having a bit more fun, and then just the support and like being like, actually, I'm having fun. Like, I'm having fun again. Like, my teammates are great. I'm having fun with my team, and I'm scoring goals, and it's kind of cool, and like getting my confidence back. And obviously, scoring goals just makes you confident anyway. And then just having teammates, and I got my confidence back, and I fell in love with it again, even though Dad wasn't here, which was good.
I was like heartbroken for you. For you. I don't think I'll ever forget the image of you at his funeral. I think it's ingrained in my head.
Yes.
I think that's because I spent such a lot of time with you, and I did spend quite a lot of time with your dad as well, because he was always there at hockey.
Yeah, and he was a know-it-all as well, so he was always involved.
I promised Dad I'd look after you. Didn't I?
I played hockey in life, and he would always come into the team chats. Ladies, I think you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't know hockey. Go away.
Even in Firebrand was the same thing.
Yeah, I know. And that was embarrassing.
It was fine. It was really good fun.
Yeah. But like, obviously having all of you guys and like you and all the Wickets and my friends and stuff and everyone at his funeral, and my God, it was a big funeral. Like,
huge, yeah.
Wow. It was huge. And I think even just having in my mind, like, wow, you know, he was pretty cool. And just having nice thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sucked, but I remember a few times just obviously not being able to do anything but crying, kind of crippled in half, but looking around a few times. I just remember sitting and just looking and being like, wow, look at all these people, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
How did you make the decision to go back to Australia? Lots of people would have wanted to stay at home and just kind of like, I don't know. And you decided
I think
I'm going.
Yeah, I think it was only like 3 or 3.5 months. Oh no, it would have been a bit longer, probably maybe 4 months after Dad that I actually came back. Yeah. And like a lot of people will know as well, I had my 21st birthday 2 weeks after Dad, and then it was Christmas, like a month later, which was a lot of big things, which all sucked. And all I wanted to do was just be in Australia. So I guess I always knew that that's where I wanted to be. Like, I just wanted to be back here. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to be in the sun. Like, I wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to go to the beach and cry, not sit in my room whilst it rains and snows and cry. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just knew where I wanted to be.
Do you think,
do
you think that if you hadn't have had Australia, do you think you'd have handled the whole thing differently? Because you had something amazing to go back to. And before you went to Australia, I remember sitting with you and saying to you, you're in a bit of a rut here, buddy. you can't play with horses all your life.
Yep.
Yeah, and when you went, I was like, thank God she's going. I am going to miss you, obviously, but like, you know, you're young enough to go and do that. Like, how do you think it would have been if you hadn't had that to go back to?
I think it would have been a lot different, because obviously I had this mindset of like I have to go back, like this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of stuff to take my mind off of it.
Yeah.
Not off of it, to help it. And also, like, Dad was the one that like paid for me to come out the first time. Like, he paid for my flights the first time. And Dad was like, you enjoyed it for 2 weeks we were there, like, you just have to go, it's what you want to do, so you can go. And I was like, okay. And I did, and like, it was great. And then I remember him always being like, you have a second year, you've done your work, like, you've got your second year, just go, like, go back. Why wouldn't you? There's nothing else at the moment, like, you have to go back. Yeah. So even just having that in my head of Dad telling me always, use your second year, and then this happening. And I also kind of was like, I feel like I'm kind of robbing Dad if I don't come back.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as far as he knew, I was always going to do my second year.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I don't do that, like, what the hell? But yeah, like, I just had this drive, and even just having that, just being like, I have to go back for Dad, because Dad knew I was going to go back. That literally was my thought. I was like, Dad knew I was going back, so I have to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to just keep playing. Like, I have to play hockey, because Dad loved me playing hockey and knew that I loved playing hockey. So I was like, I have to go back to Australia, and I have to play hockey. And that was just the two things in my head. I was like, I have to do this. Whereas if I was in England, I wouldn't have had those things, I don't think. It would have just been get up at 5 a.m, go ride some horses all day, be tired, run around, coach at this school, coach at that school, coach juniors, play hockey, be tired, get up at 5 a.m, ride horses, like, just different.
Back to the rut.
Yeah.
What is your biggest piece of advice for youngsters going through similar thing to you?
Pretty much what I said on the last live before we got cut off. That tomorrow's another day. Like, and to be okay with how you're feeling. Obviously, I was depressed. I had like to be fair, I didn't have that long of full on not wanting to do anything, but because I've always had a pretty good head, luckily. I've always had pretty good mental health. This changed now since Dad, obviously. But before, and I've always been pretty aware, like, I'm feeling pretty sad and stuff, and I'm just aware of how I'm feeling. And I was aware of, I remember saying to Mum one day, I was like, hey, I'm not sad, like, I'm worse. And I just, crying again. But I just accepted it, and I was like, there's a reason, and it's okay. Like, and even if there isn't a reason and you still just feel it,
it's okay.
But you got to get on. Like, if you just sit in a hole, make yourself, shut off of everything for a long time, whether there's a reason or not, that's not okay. Because it's okay to feel it, but not okay to then not act upon it. You have to just carry on. There's other people that you will affect as well.
Yeah.
So you just have to think of everyone else, and then think of yourself and be like, hey, like, I'm actually not doing just that massive thing of, I think Dad always used to, I think one of the songs at Dad's funeral was Madness, Tomorrow's Just Another Day. So yeah, it is.
Thank you for sharing that. I hope that your story will help other people, and for other people to realize that, it's not just them going through it. Look, lots of people do, lots of people have. I mean, people that don't know you wouldn't necessarily know that you've been through that, and a
lot of people don't.
Exactly.
When I've told people,
Nobody asks.
they go, "Oh, what? Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Like I never would have known." I'm like, "Yeah, well,
Do you think
no,
sport
you
has
wouldn't."
played? Do you think sport has played a big part in your mental health?
Yes, both good and bad. um, I think I'm pretty stressy anyway when it comes to sport, so that doesn't help. And I think as well this year, last year, what year? Last year, obviously, because we play different season to England. Um, my mental health was like up and down because I came back and I had a niggle in my hip and I was like, oh, great, this is fun. You know, I've just had all this going on in my head and I just wanted to come back and play hockey and be in Australia. And now I have another injury. So then I had a tear in my hip, which I then had to go through. And I don't think I ever played one game where I was happy. I would always lose my head. Like I was throwing tantrums, which was embarrassing and like it was bad. And, you know, trying to play ones and like you'd be like losing your head and stuff. And then as soon as I'm angry at that, then like it triggers another thought. And I think it just triggers from one thing to another, and then moods just change from one thing to another. And then people would say to you, they're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, grow up and stuff. And you're like, oh, come on. Like, that doesn't help, like, at all. There's things going on up in here. And then you kind of tell people, like, oh, actually, you know, I'm hurting. And I can't do what I want to do. And then, yeah. But then on the flip side, I was with friends and, like, I was having fun and coaching. Oh, my God, my girls last year literally won every single game, and like they were smashing it. We won games like 11-0 and stuff, and like I didn't even care. I'd be like jumping on the sideline, I'm like dancing and like screaming. I'm like, yeah, go get another goal, go get another goal.
Did that
like,
take back to our Firebrand 14s?
Yeah, going back to when our girls lost all season and then won, like literally same thing. And then like I had two teams that were just winning, and then like at Hale we have our song that we sing when we win, and I made the girls sing it. And like just the excitement of like that. So the flip side of me having a bad game and getting in my head, but then because of an injury or because like, oh, I should have scored that goal, and then like I have a tattoo on my arm for Dad that I'll kiss if I score a goal and stuff. I'm like, I should have scored, like why didn't I? And look at that, I'm like, for God's sake, like what the hell? And then yeah, flip side, you're with your friends, like I'm having so much fun, like the team chats before and being in the change room warming up, like so much fun. Like people let me in charge of music. Would you believe? they hate it, but it doesn't matter. Yes, that's on there, right? Yeah, and then yeah, coaching and having the excitement of coaching and singing the song with my girls and like kind of bringing that love, that side of it. Just the main thing of team sport, I guess, just that camaraderie and fun. So there's just two different sides which help and don't help my mental health, and then it's just balancing it all out, I suppose. And like, yeah, I'll have a bad game, but oh well, get over it. May have embarrassed myself, but you know, I'll apologize to whoever I need to apologize to, and I'll journal. I have a journal. Ever since Dad died, I've journaled. Yeah, and it helps. So I think it's just finding whatever helps. And like for me, journaling gets it out of here.
Yeah.
So for me, that works.
I get that.
Yeah. So it's just finding what helps.
I can't I try to do the writing thing, but I forget to do it. But I have a toddler, so I don't get time really to do anything. But I think for me, James is my son. Is probably he's my saving grace. He puts the cherry on the top of everything.
Yeah, that was kind of going to be one of my questions for you. This is such a long-winded chat.
I know. Nobody else is interested. Probably it's just me and you having a chat. Who cares?
I know. I'm just like watching the numbers go up and down, up and down. I'm like, I don't care. Have a chat with my friends. I don't care. Yeah, like obviously the impacts, I guess, both positively and negatively, because there would be both, no doubt, that James has had on you since you and Jan had him.
Yeah. I never experienced tiredness like it. I used to laugh.
You don't sleep.
James is almost 3, and still doesn't sleep through the night.
Wow.
And right or wrong, that's our choice. That's a whole different conversation on parenthood. It's our choice not to have him cry and scream and stuff. So we don't do that. And I think for me, because I'm an older parent now, like I'd class myself as a slightly older parent, you know, I'm 46. God, 46. So I think that I is a blessing and a curse. Like it's a blessing because I've done everything that I wanted to do. I don't have, you know, I don't want to go out at night anymore unless it's to coach hockey. I'm not really that interested, you know. I'd rather be at home with my family. And then it's also a curse because I am extremely tired all the time. Like just exhausted. James is like, he's non-stop. If he's not some kind of sporting hero, I'd be very surprised. He's very active, super strong. Like it's crazy. But he doesn't sleep at night. So he'll wake up, he'll go to bed. He struggles to get to sleep, and then he'll be awake a couple of times, and then he'll end up coming up to bed with us. So he's always slept, like right from a small child. He's always slept with us, really, just so that we can sleep. So now Jan and I take it in turns to get a good night's sleep. Yeah. But that's the curse side of things, I reckon, is dealing with that sort of tiredness. It's honestly, until you do it, which I'm sure at some stage you will, you honestly it's just a whole new level of exhaustion. Like, and all parents that listen to this will understand it. I never used to understand it, but I do now. There's constantly a little person around me. Mummy, mummy, mummy.
And you don't even like people.
Well,
so
yeah, but I like my little human.
Yes, but you know, just having someone there all the time, like that's so weird for you, Rach.
I don't ever spend time on my own anymore.
Exactly. And also, like, obviously we spoke about Dad.
We did.
Yes, so do you want to kind of dive into with your brother?
That was quite a weird time for us as friends. Wasn't it?
I don't think we were there, but we also weren't there for each other. It was a bit strange.
Yeah, so I was there for you 100%, and then my brother died.
Yes, so it was
quite quickly. Like we weren't, you know, we knew that he was ill with terminal cancer, and we were always kind of living on, oh, he's okay now, no he's not, how's he doing, you know. And it was just kind of one of those things that I'd spent a lot of time with him and his family. He had a young family, well, still got a family. So I had spent quite a lot of time with him, which I was really, really thankful for. But I was with you all the time, 100%. And then I had to deal with my own little bit of like, Christ, oh my God, like what the hell's what's happened? Like what has happened? Yeah. Like what, are you joking? Like and then I think that at that point our friendship, kind of mine and yours, went on a hold, because I couldn't be there for you anymore because I had my own stuff to deal with. And at no point did I ever expect you to be there for me, because I've always seen our friendship as, we're really good friends, but actually I'm the adult. You know what I mean? I'm adulting now. Do you remember that? Adulting.
Still use it all the time.
I know. Somebody stole it from us, by the way.
I know. I think it's a proper word now.
Yeah, wrong. But yeah, so my brother, it must have been about a week after your dad's funeral, maybe.
I think it was pretty soon.
It was quite soon, yeah. So my brother just he died quite quickly. It all happened really, really quickly, which was great for him in a way, but not for a lot, you know, not for a family. So I was dealing with my own issues, and I was like, I still haven't dealt with it because I can't really talk about it, if I'm honest. But I was But I guess I was in that situation where I felt like I was in the middle. Like I had my parents and then I had my sister-in-law and the children. So I was in the middle of it all. So I didn't really, so I don't think I've actually handled it properly, and I probably buried it a little bit. So I think that is yet to come. And I do get incredibly upset when I'm talking about it. And I guess if I'm really, really honest, I don't know how to deal with it. Does that make sense?
But yeah, I think that definitely comes back to earlier when you just said that grief affects everyone differently.
It does, yeah.
And like those times will come, and obviously it hit with Dad, like it hit me instantly, and then it was like really instant, and then I was okay, and then I had another like big massive hit, and then I was okay, and now it kind of gets me pretty often at the moment, definitely. But then like for my brother, he didn't at all, like he shut off to everything. And then it hit him really hard. And now he's kind of, I don't know, kind of a little bit better with it. And like, it just hits everyone differently. And that's just the way it is. And it's normal. It's so normal. And because of who you are, I remember you telling me, you're like, I just have to look after everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's just who you are. And like, that's okay. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
I honestly can't explain it. Like I can't even talk to Jan about it. Every time Jan says, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "Nope, don't want to talk about it." And I'll be getting upset. I'm like, "Look, I'm upset. I don't want to talk about it." So I'm like, definitely 100% bottling up my feelings about my brother dying.
But one day it will feel okay for you.
Yeah.
So
I feel very robbed that he's gone, and that we actually have something in common now. We didn't really have a lot in common. We had a great childhood and all that, but we've got children in common now, and I'm gutted.
Yeah.
I'm true.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think definitely like it's everybody's different. Everyone has their own way of dealing with it, and it will either hit you one point or it won't, and then like one day it will, and one day you'll be okay talking about it, one day you won't. And
I think
that's
I'm gonna have to plug my phone in. I managed to go a whole hockey season with hardly anybody knowing that my brother had died.
Yeah.
Apart from a couple of people in my team that I had to tell, because I missed like one match or something, or one training session. I managed to cope an entire season with my brother being terminally ill, and I would leave matches and race over to Cardiff and to see my nieces and nephews and my sister-in-law, or see my parents, and nobody knew. That goes back to our question of, are you actually listening to what people are saying?
Yeah. And
I think I actually posted something about my brother on Facebook at some point a few months ago. And it was amazing to me the amount of people that didn't know that my brother had died, and some people that really should have. And I'm like, nobody's asked the question.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
It's like if you're rushing off, if people had just been like, hey, like I've noticed that you've been rushing off, like is everything okay? Like, and you might have just been like, yeah, like you're fine, like no worries, but then other times you're like, oh, actually, my brother's pretty ill, just have to rush off to go see him.
Yeah.
And then
I'm also one of those people that doesn't, I don't fly flags that I've got issues going on.
No.
But yeah, like our friendship hasn't suffered at all. We disconnected, didn't we? Oops, she's gone.
Can you get my charger? I can't hear you, Rach. I think you've muted or something. Oh, you're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, our friendship, obviously we disconnected for a while because we were both dealing with our own personal stuff. And
I don't think we spoke for literally almost a year.
No. I always knew that you were fine because of Facebook and, you know, and I think that we had texted, like, you knew what was going on with my brother and me, and I knew what was going on with you, and I think I had said at that point, you know, I am here, but I can't handle stuff. If you need me, don't sit there in the pool of darkness. I will be there. It's not an issue. That's the person that I am. But it shows how good friendship can be when you can just reconnect quite quickly and everything's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Which is good. Like, obviously we were lucky to have each other and have that understanding of something's going on, and like, it's okay because people have got other things going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's another pretty big thing, is like just understanding. Sorry, I'm just trying to plug my phone in. Understanding that even if you do have issues and you expect people to be there, sometimes people actually just can't.
Yeah.
They just sometimes can't.
100%.
And if you really, really need them, they will be.
Yeah.
But, you know, as long as they know that things are okay in that very instance, you know, just to accept that everyone has their own things going on, big or little in comparison. But actually, it's not even in comparison. You can never compare your issues with someone else's.
No.
Because if someone's just had a bad day at work and that literally is like the worst thing's happened to them today, to them, that's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
We've all done that, haven't we? We've all sat in the car and bitched about somebody. Oh my God, woe is them and all that. But actually, it's huge to them. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like the day that Dad died, to me, my dad had like just died in a motorbike accident suddenly, and like I hadn't seen him for 10, 11 months. But like that, you know, to me, that's obviously like the end of my world. And then, but to somebody else, they could have just had a really bad day at work, not knowing what to do with themselves that very day. And like, if you were to compare it, probably not on the same level, but because we shouldn't compare, it is on the same level because individually, that's somebody's worst point of that day. Like, and that's okay.
Yeah. No, 100% right. I think that's it. No, do we want to talk about anything else? Are we good? We good?
No, I think we just have to, just say that if anybody wants if anybody has any questions or wants to leave any questions or anything, then to put it in and we'll answer once the video is posted as well. Yeah,
we are constantly here, constantly looking and listening and watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, please guys, just reach out and ask a question, ask for some help. Doesn't matter who it is, there's always somebody in your life that will help you. Hi Bobby.
I think we have a question.
I sent one in, Rach. Did it pop up for you?
Are we talking about the ballet again? Oh
no, I sent a question. No. There's something on the live video. No, you can. There's a question button.
Do either of you have any tips on how you want others to approach supporting someone in the grieving process? What else does it say? I feel like.
Oh, you can't see the end.
That's okay. I can say it out loud.
Yeah, go on then.
So I suppose my question was just, obviously I'm always here trying to support Eve, and I've got other friends who have gone through similar things as well. And I think the biggest thing is people feel uncomfortable and don't always know how to approach it, even when they want to. I fortunately find it really easy with Eve because she's so open and she talks about it so much. But I guess, do you have any tips on how others should be approaching supporting you? For example, I know you don't really like talking about what's happened with your brother. So your friends and people around you who want to support you, what do you expect from them?
Christ. I don't expect anything from anybody.
Yeah, this is what I live with every day.
Yeah, I never expect anything from anyone, and then you can't be disappointed, if I'm honest. The only people that are massively important to me are on one hand, and I think that's my family, Jan, my best buddy Rach, Eve, Dee, Kath, who I haven't seen for ages, but Kath is important. Everyone else, you know, comes and goes, and are sort of almost colleagues, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fox actually. I give a shout out to Fox, Charlotte Fox, who is in my threes. She's almost like a another version of you, Eve.
Oh, what? I have so many replacements.
Yeah. You'll have to meet her at some point.
Yes.
What do I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know, because I don't think I've ever experienced it. I don't think anyone has ever come up to me and said, apart from my family, like, but what can I do for you? What do you need?
Yeah.
Like, and that's my honest opinion. I think that, so Dee and Rach took me out for lunch and I just started crying, and that was very early on in the process. And I'm not the best person for this, because I don't like going out, do I, Eve?
No.
So, you know, if someone was to say, oh, do you want to meet me so-and-so for, I'd be like, no, not really. I don't. Not really. However, you know, if you want to come over and watch TV with me, that's fine. Like, yeah. But I'm not a good, those days for me, I think, have gone. You know what? I'd actually link that to me gaining weight, is I don't actually like going out now because I gained like weight, and then I'm not huge by any stretch, but I don't feel comfortable, so I'm coming off like all of this, like the whole, oh my God, this is terrible. What have you done? I think having a son, coming off the back of 3 major operations, coming off pain meds, you know, my brother dying, all that kind of stuff. I want to try and get back to being the best version of myself. And I did say to Jan the other day, because I guess I have lost a little bit of confidence because I've gained so much weight, and that doesn't help with me going out socializing and talking to people, because I don't want to. I'd rather sit in my pit or try and do a bit of training or play with James or whatever. But I think the thing I said to Jan not too long ago was, I wish I had not listened to physios, chiropractors, surgeons. They all told me to stop exercising so much because I had put so much strain on my body, and I'd had all these horrific injuries. I wish I hadn't listened to them. I wish I'd just kept training, because if I hadn't stopped training, then I wouldn't have lost my bite for it, if that makes sense. And now I struggle because I'm so tired, because I've got the little one, and it's that cycle of doom which we all go through. But I have no idea how to get one of my buddies to approach me to talk about my brother. I don't know. I will let you know if it happens.
I think as well, like, from what I think you're trying to ask is, like, what would you want Jan, or like, let's just use Jan as an example, to kind of understand or know about how to deal with you? Because I know, like, even today, like, I haven't really been in the best of moods today, and like, we had a chat and I was like, look, I'm just not in a good mood, but I'm okay. And then Bobby was like, well, do you want me to be quiet? Do you want me to talk to you? Like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, just keep talking, like, just carry on, because if we're quiet, it's just awkward, and like, I'm not grumpy at you, I'm just grumpy. So like, just carry on with doing stuff, but just know that, like, I'm, you know, if I say something, if I snap, tell me, because that's not okay. But if I just answer and I'm a bit grumpy, just like, understand that I'm just having a down day. And just, I don't know. We just have quite a few of those things where I'm just like, you know, things trigger me, or like, I'll just have a bad day. And I'm like, I just want you to just accept that I have like that, and just carry on being you, so it doesn't really change anything.
Jan and me have been together a very long time, and our biggest bonus is that we have nothing in common. It's also, you know, like, what should we do? And we normally end up doing different things, but we'll enjoy a spa day together and all that kind of stuff. But I think that for me and Jan just knows what makes me tick. Like, she listens to me, she reads me like a book. She can tell that I'm maybe starting to mentally spiral out of control before I do, and she'll already be preparing for me to have a rest. And like, I get exhausted looking after James, because I deal with pain 24/7. Like, you know that. Like, the
Yeah.
pain I deal with all the time is horrific. It makes me quite tired. You know, I come off pain meds, I have to go back on pain meds, I come off them, I go off them. But me and Jan read each other like a book, and she's just in tune with me, and that is something that we've developed over the years. But right in the beginning, I had to do a lot of talking to her. I realised I needed to do a lot of talking to Jan.
Yeah.
To tell Jan what was going on in my head. I've done therapy. The best thing I did the best therapy that I did was the Lucas solution focused hypnotherapy. And I understood that because I understood how my brain worked. Like, and I was like, thank the Lord. So I actually understand now how my brain works. But yeah, I think I just had to do a lot of talking and telling her how, and trying to explain what I'm feeling, what I'm feeling, what does it look like, and try and explain it, because how Jan feels is different to how I feel. Does that make sense or not?
No, it does. I completely understand that. I think as well, like, I think a huge thing is, you will probably understand, like, get this as well. We can't expect someone to know how we're feeling and how to treat us if we don't actually tell them.
100%.
Because if I'm just being grumpy, or, you know, I'm having a bad day, or I have a complete meltdown for what it seems like no reason, like, you know, what are people meant to think? Like, obviously they know I've had this happen, but a year and a half down the line, and nothing in that exact moment looks obvious, but who knows what thoughts I've been having. And if I don't tell anyone, nobody knows. And they'll be like, oh, like, what are you doing this for? And it's like, well, actually, my head currently feels like it's spinning round and round and round so fast. And, like, I just need you to distract me, or I need you to, like, just do this, or, like, just get me this, or, you know. But I think we just can't expect people to know unless we actually just tell people, which is quite a big thing. You've muted again. No, still can't hear you. He's covered you.
What have I covered? Can you hear me
I don't
now?
know. I think you cover your microphone.
Where is the microphone?
On the bottom somewhere, probably.
Oh yeah, probably covering the microphone. You know me.
Yep.
Do you remember my really old phone?
Yes, it was like, an old brick. Tiny little.
Still works.
But yeah, I think that's like a huge part, going back to like what I was just saying, of just, you can't expect someone to know what's going on unless you tell them. It might not even be that you tell them completely, but just like, hey, this is currently going on in my head.
So Jan is the very first person and only person that I have told everything to.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like, and I didn't meet Jan until I was 32 or something. But I'd gone a lot of years without really talking to anybody. So I honestly think that it's about a person in your life. There's somebody in your life, whether you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever age you are, there's somebody there that you'll eventually connect with and be able to talk to about anything. And for me, it's Jan. Like, I don't think I would be here if I hadn't met Jan. And that's my honest opinion.
Yeah. So,
there we go.
Okay.
You found your Jan, haven't you?
I have.
Yay!
Cool. But like you said, obviously you're going to add in some links to mental health.
I will do.
Support platforms. I don't really know what they're classed as. And also I think as well.
Do you want to send me some stuff from Australia to add in case you guys are listening? Yeah, I'll add Australian stuff in as well. So if you WhatsApp me that and I'll add that in. Yeah.
Just quickly, which is like a pretty big thing for me. I haven't really ever thought about kind of any therapy or anything, because I was like, you know, I'm okay. Like, I'll be okay. I'm strong. And then maybe a couple of months ago, I was like, this head needs some help. Like, wow, I need some help. And then Bobby was actually like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, we can have a look at some counselors and some grief counseling. And we had a look, and then coronavirus happened, so couldn't actually really do anything. But yeah, like, I actually just hit a point where I was like, I need help. And like, it was okay. And Bobby was like completely 100%, yeah, it was fine. Like, absolutely fine. Just, let's look, it'll help. And I think it's scary. Like, it actually is scary to accept that your brain and mental health isn't okay. It's really scary. And I actually haven't really told too many people that. So there we go.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really, really scary.
Yeah.
I've had a few near misses myself, as you know, and me and my family have worked really hard to get me on the straight and narrow, and I am now on the straight and narrow, and I'm able to give help and advice to anybody that crosses my path that needs it. But definitely, I've tried so many different forms of counselling. This person, that person, just training on my own, getting a personal trainer, talking to a counsellor for this, counsellor. But it was for me, it was the solution focused therapies that worked, because that fitted with how I came home from it, and I went, I understand my brain now. and
it's important.
Yeah. So, and I haven't really looked back. And then the only reason I actually wanted to fix myself completely was because my son was about to be born, and I wanted to make sure that I was the best version of myself for him and for our family. So that was my turning point. That was like, it's time to, really sort myself out, because I don't want him to grow up experiencing, these things. I'll talk to him about it, and I'm sure he'll have his own stuff, but I want to be able to be equipped to help him as much as I can, and anyone else that, I coach a lot of children, and I want them to ask me, I'm having a problem here, or so I can help them.
I'd love to jump in. I recently watched a TED Talk, which I absolutely loved. I'm happy to link it to you, but the man who was presenting, who's a psychiatrist, he took an approach of, if we change the way that we talk about mental health and start to look at it the exact same we look at physical injuries, and if we break our arm, we seek help, everybody knows about it, we're talking about it, we get the treatment we need to from doctors and things like that. But often when we know that we're injured and our thoughts are actually the things that are injured or making us feel sick, we need to treat that as like, that's something that a lot of people go through, and it's very normal to have mental injuries too. And if we treat it the same way, then we can raise our kids to kind of, if their friend is crying, it's not this taboo thing. It's, okay, go offer them some water, go offer them a tissue, talk to them. But it's kind of something that I think was always taboo. And I know it's changing now, but it's a nice way to look at it, as it is an injury, and it is something that people need help with sometimes, and it can be fixed, and it can go through a treatment process. So it's a really interesting one. I'll link it to you.
Yeah, definitely link that in, because I think I actually know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it too, and I totally agree. It is something that needs to be. It's a problem. Go and fix it. It's something that's slightly broken. It doesn't mean that you're messed up. It just means that you need a little bit of rewiring and help to for you, your brain to do things, to learn to do things in your way.
Yeah, and I think as well, like you said that you tried so many different counselors, so many different types, like obviously PT, all different things, and like, to not give up. If you don't find something that works, but there's something else, just keep trying. It might not be one after another. It might be like, you have a go, and then you think, oh, this isn't working. Wait another year or two, and then you have another go. Like, obviously it's great if you do just keep trying and trying, but if it is going to take a couple of years, just don't give up. Don't be ashamed. And if something doesn't work, it doesn't matter. There's going to be something else. There's so many different things out there.
There are a lot of things out there, and a lot of things that can help you. But the first step in any of this is actually just talking to one person to help you to make that transition to finding that help. That's important.
Yeah. And just accepting what's going on, because that was a huge thing for me. Like, just accepting. I was like, I had like the biggest meltdown, and I was just like, I need help. Like, I need to do something. And like, it's scary and it's hard, but then it's okay. It's fine. because help is there.
With,
it's not like you need help, you can't, like, it's there.
Yeah, you're going to be okay. It will be okay in the end. My dad's got a saying, something like, if it's not okay, then it's not over. Something like that.
I think I've heard something like that before. But yeah, like obviously we're going to link so many things in after this gets posted. And yeah.
We'll link it all in. I'll link it all to the first one as well, because I just had to figure out the technology yet, but I just had to post that quickly. So we'll make a little series out of this, and we'll talk again about it maybe. Perhaps we'll call this the mental health series.
Maybe.
And then we can talk again about it, because it's quite useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All good?
All right. Yeah. Oh, Mickey's just joined. We're about to jump off.
Thank you for joining me, Eve. It's been amazing. Everyone, watch this back. Links will be there. Thanks, Bobby.
No worries. Thank you. Thanks, Rach. Thanks for.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having us open up. See you, everyone.
This is Auntie Hockey out. Bye.
Bye.